Stand by. The program will begin soon.
Breaking: New York's highest court denies Trump's motion to stop his sentencing in Manhattan tomorrow with Stormy Daniels' campaign cover-up criminal case. Trump is getting sentenced tomorrow, this is yesterday, and will officially be a convicted felon forever. Forever? Forever, ever? Because, and I asked that question why. Why do I ask that question? He'll be a convicted felon forever. Except that if the conviction is overturned in the appeals process, you are no longer and never were a convicted felon. If your conviction is overturned in the appeals process, you are no longer and never were a felon. So, is there a labor shortage? Ultimately, the entire need for H-1B workers is predicated on a supposed domestic worker shortage. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, the current native-born American labor force participation is around 63%. Meanwhile, the foreign-born labor force participation is a stunning 68%. Importantly, per the Wall Street Journal, census data show immigrants who arrived since the start of 2020 are more than twice as likely to lack a high school diploma as months, he beat not one but two Democratic opponents, swept all 7 swing states, and became the first Republican to win the popular vote in 20 years. He has realigned American politics, remaking the GOP and leaving the Democrats reckoning with what went awry. I'll tell you what went awry. They suck! Okay.
That since 1977, Congress has only passed the budget on time 4 times. The last time Congress passed a balanced budget was in 2001.
That was the
Did you know
Congress?
That over the last 6 years, Congress hasn't passed an appropriations bill on time once? In fact, we have had 17 continuing resolutions in the last 6 years.
6 years.
And since Biden has taken office, we have had over 11 omnibuses pushed through. Congress has only passed a balanced budget 4 times ever, meaning we didn't have a surplus or a deficit.
The mainstream has become fringe, and the fringe has become mainstream. There are platforms, there are people out there that are getting 14 million streams. And we're on cable news getting 1 to 2 million. And so there's
not on CNN.
It's a whole world out there. Kellyanne Conway, I hate to agree with her, but I do a lot of times. Donald Trump understood that.
Stand by. The program will begin soon.
That was Friday Q&A, and let's. The first question today is from our friend Avocado Diablo, who says, have you ever woken up half naked except for a pair of lace panties, a Foot Locker's employee's ref jersey, and a pirate's eye patch stuck in the slide of a children's playground? AD? I'm becoming concerned. I'm becoming concerned. I would love to hear that story, though. Just out of curiosity, I don't know if I really want to hear that story, but no, I haven't. I'm very discouraged to see many influencers turning on some of our biggest fighters in Congress. Instead of going after the 3080 stand on principle and not raising the debt ceiling, but also didn't support the continuing resolution, why are they going after people like Republican Congressman Greg Murphy, North Carolina 3, who was for the original continuing resolution? Or why not just go after the Democrats who are responsible for this entire mess? Why eat our own strong conservatives, especially over something like the debt ceiling, when no one really wants it raised in the long run? Even if the 38 had voted yes on the American Relief Act, it still wouldn't have passed. So what is the end goal here? To get rid of strong conservatives because we don't 100% agree on it?
Stand by. The program will begin soon.
House report recommends FBI investigation into Liz Cheney of alleged witness tampering while on the JC committee. So there's this seems to be blowing up in Liz Cheney's face as opposed to getting shot with birdshot by her dad. Here's another one. Taxpayers fund an information index, but the real fake news is that it's useful. The Department of State wasted $330,000 to fund censorship of non-liberal and conservative media. Historically, the largest purveyor of disinformation is the U.S. government, without question. And now, once again, the government has decided to position itself as the ultimate judge of what is true and what is not. This an animal whose shit is actually super delicious. Oh my god. It would have to be some sort of seafood. Avocado Salvi, what would you consider to be the most disconcerting about one could see in the toilet after you got done going to the bathroom? Only things that come from inside you count. Well, I think a 14-foot tapeworm would be kind of disconcerting. You're like, what the heck? Oh, that was inside of me. Okay. Lord Stanham asks, which member of Congress would you like to catch leprosy? You can name as many as you'd like. Let me just start with Jamie Raskin. And Adam Schiff. That's enough. This is light me. Avocado Diaby says, why is it that Nancy Mace is the only woman in Congress that does not sound like one of the teachers from Peanuts to me when she speaks? Maybe it's because she's from the South, although her accent is not that pronounced. South Nation, is this the penultimate? Is this the last question? No, it's not. Lord Stanhope, will you have a Merry Christmas? Melancholy. We already explained that earlier. Select boy, who on The Simpsons has a plan that's good on paper but horrible in execution? Oh, obviously Homer. How many of you remember the name Crystal Magnum? Crystal Magnum. Does that name ring a bell? Anybody? Crystal Magnum. Now, even if you don't know that name, you know. It sounds like a stripper name, doesn't it? Crystal Magnum? That sounds like a stripper name or a porn star name or something like that, right? Well, here's an update in the story of Crystal Magnum. Congress members haven't even received the text yet. The deadline is Friday. This is utter insanity. That is... I don't know if that could be any less accurate or more accurate. I don't know. Congress last passed a real budget in 1997. Since then, Congress has typically relied on continuing resolutions or omnibus spending bills to fund the government. There should be 12 different funding bills, I guess, normally, and they're doing an omnibus bill and then just put it all on paper the last minute and then just pass it because they want to go home for Christmas. Well, F that shit. So people are saying shut it down. They've typically relied on continuing resolutions of omnibus spending bills to fund the government rather than completing the full budget process as intended by the 1974 Congressional Budget.
I can imagine what can be and be unburdened by what has been. You know?
What can be unburdened by what has been. 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 What we can see, what we believe can be, unburdened by what can be.
Ladies and gentlemen, coming to you live from the Lucky Dog studio in a hidden location somewhere in the upper Midwest of the United States of America, it's a brother making his own way but with all the wrong opinions. Welcome to the Morning Night Live with your host, the one and only P-Dog Night.
Oh yeah, it's the day. We're here. We're ready. It's over. We're going to be unburdened by what has been. Good. Hey. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Morning Night Live. I'm your host, Marty. What the hell was that? I'm your host, Marty, also known as P-Dog Night on the internet. And welcome back to the P-Dog Night channel, where it is Inauguration Day. And we got some breaking news this morning. Joe Biden did some pardons. He added to the little pardon list, and it was not unexpected, although we're curious if the pardons he did were actually legal. I had to think about this. I don't know if they're even legal. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about all kinds of stuff, and we're going to watch the inauguration. And I have 5 different, maybe I have 6 different places where the, what's this? Where the we're going to watch it from. And so there you go. Let's put this on the screen now. Hang on. I'll do that size. Does that fit? Yeah, there we go. It looks like the a choir from the University of Nebraska singing right now. What is this?
You miss that
so
part of
the C-SPAN
inauguration. That
C-SPAN
is what we think of as the heart of it. This is a much more intimate operation.
By the way, if you know the N on the Nebraska helmets and their scarves there, the N at Nebraska, it stands for knowledge. It's an old joke, and I laugh because I'm from Nebraska. Anyway, we're gonna let's say hi to everybody. We don't need to necessarily listen to these people yet. I do want to. I have several feeds open. I've got CNN, MSNBC, Fox News. I've got Oh, what's that? That's not CBS. I have CBS, and I don't know what they're doing. And then I also have the AP and C-SPAN. So we're going to flip back and forth, see what different people are saying on these different channels. Wow, that dude looks like he's like 40 in that Nebraska choir. Is he still in school? He's got gray hair and shit. Anyway, let's say hi to everybody and get it going. First to chat today is Hi-Ho Silver. Way to go. You're here first. Also, good morning, GDSOB, McFluffin, the McFluffin brothers. Also, hello, Dom O'Leary, who's going to come back and see the stream later. Furry Kittens in the house, Amazing Disgrace, and Avocados Diablo. Also, Mike Savage, Blarg, Jeff Overturf, getting a live view of the show today. Who else is here? Anonymity. By the way, I am sick again. T2, I'll be back, is here. Who else? As I scroll down here, is there anybody else here? I mean, Attack Alpaca, good morning. JB, what up? Darren Root, hello. And I think that's it. That's it so far, because I started early, and no one expects baby to start early. And so there you go. So anyway, a lot going on today. Let's just get through some trending topics. Let's go back to C-SPAN here for a second, and see what's going on here. Oops, there we go. So this is sorry about that. Oh, what the hell happened there? Well, I see what they did. I was paused. Let's go to well, there you go. Thank you, Avocados Diablo. You are the new Streamlabs Superstar sponsor of the day. Silly P-Dog, haven't you heard the whole, quote, inauguration, end quote thing? It's just a giant sting operation and a setup so they can arrest Trump, and that is why none of the other ex-presidents will be there, so they don't get caught in the crossfire or something. Yeah, there was a lot of talk over the last week or so about how, at least there's liberals out there on social media who were confident that they would not be inaugurating Trump today, that some Joe Biden would step in and declare the election for Kamala Harris, and Kamala Harris would be inaugurated today. Well, that doesn't look like it's going to happen. By the way, if you want to sponsor the show on that particular platform, I'm changing the pinned comment right now. You can at pdognight.live, the best place to do that. Thank you, Avocados Diabli, and I greatly appreciate it. By the way, we're going to go long today. We're going to go basically as long as things are happening during the inauguration stuff. Let's go. I want to show you. Let's see what's going on with the AP here. Here's my problem. I have to keep doing this back and forth. Let's try that. Okay. Let's see what they're saying on the AP right now. So it looks like now, as you know, they moved everything indoors. That apparently is a scandal now too. Some of the everyone's making fun of Trump because he moved it inside because it's cold outside, and there's the problem. I don't think they moved it inside because of the weather. It is 24 degrees in Washington today. That's not unusual for Inauguration Day. There have been colder inauguration days, and all the lefty fuckwads are just pissed off because Donald Trump moved it. He's such a wimp. He can't stay outside. Yeah, whatever. Who cares? Oh, wait. Why? Oh, this is way behind, too. Hang on. Let me get this one caught up. Okay. Let's see what they're doing. All right. So on the AP, they're just showing scenes of the White House. Let's try this. I believe this is CNN. Here, let's mute this and try CNN. What do they got going? Let's get this current. And they're just showing scenes of the White House. What about, let's try MSNBC. I expect them to be whining, bitching, and moaning, but they're just showing pictures. A lot of this stuff, this coverage, is not really going to happen until they get into the arena. They moved it into some arena in Washington, D.C. And so, unfortunately, a lot of people who came to Washington to be outside for the inauguration are having difficulties because they their tickets kind of got their tickets became worthless, so to speak. But okay, so I guess for now there's nothing going on any of these feeds that are worth the time. Looks like I know on CBS, forget them, and we'll close this one. So really, the only one where they're actually talking is on C-SPAN because they're taking calls.
This is on the House side of the Capitol where that inaugural lunch will take place. And we also got an update from the Joint Inaugural Committee on what the menu will be for that
great.
lunch.
What's the menu?
First course,
Chesapeake crab cake.
Crab cake paired with a Veritas Vineyards wine, that vineyard out of Virginia, a Chardonnay. The second course, an Omaha Angus ribeye steak. With,
yummy.
Sauvignon from Napa
Why are they going
Valley.
ribeye? They should have went to
the
Porterhouse,
dessert,
though.
a Minnesota apple icebox terrine with sour cream ice cream and salted caramel.
Minnesota
also,
apple icebox terrine. What the hell is that?
That's the menu for
I should know what that is, and I don't.
Will take place today. All of that set to take place here in Washington.
At least Joe won't need a loan to move out this time. I don't think he needed a loan to move out the first time. I think he was lying.
The arrival of the president at the White House, that's Blair House right there. The House of Representatives set to come in for a pro forma session just a few minutes from now. We'll take calls up to then. Vero Beach, Florida, independent line. John, hello.
Let's see what some of the people are saying.
Hello, good morning.
John.
Thank you for taking my call. Thank you for your coverage this morning. Happy Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Day. What a glorious day, hopeful day to be an American. Dr. King said, everyone is great because everyone can serve. I hope that everyone, all Americans, can continue to respect the office of the presidency. I have certainly always done that, and it has been difficult and challenging over the last 4 years. but I'm hoping that all of us can come together, respect the office of the presidency, and celebrate this glorious, hopeful day for America. God bless. Have a great day.
You're seeing the motorcade entering the confines of the White House right now.
Right here behind
and the
me,
president-elect, his
motorcade
wife Melania,
carrying
others
incoming
expected
President
for that coffee
Donald
and tea
Trump
that John
and
McCardle
the incoming
talked
First
about.
Lady,
why am
of
I
course,
getting
This is
Melania
from
Trump,
Michigan.
driving up.
Again, we'll go to this arrival when it happens. Mike, Democrats line, go ahead.
So apparently,
I was wondering if
Biden and Trump are going to be riding together to the inauguration, apparently. Anyway, I'm going to do some news, and we'll come back to the actual inauguration, which happens in roughly 2 hours from now. I have two tabs playing. No, I know that. I realize that. So anyway, here we go. Let's start with just trending news. Here's the breaking news today. Very annoying. Joe Biden did some last minute parts. Hello, Johnny Hellcat and Anon. 1, 2, 3. Oh, okay. I see there. Anon 1, 2, 3. Good morning. Scheduled a brunch with a friend, so I sadly won't be watching. Hoping to be done by 11:38, so I can see the actual swearing in. Oh, you must be in Eastern time. So anyway, Biden pardons Fauci, Milley, and the January 6th committee members. Now, when you accept a pardon, you are basically saying that you were guilty of something. So let me find the, here, I'm going to move that over because that's, oh, I see what I did. I'm going to go back here. Let me come back to that because that's not what I wanted to do first anyway. Actually, the first thing I want to do, by the way, thank you to people who have tweeted out the show. Looks like I got some people who've done that. Notifications, Sound Humble Nation, of course. Reaction Puerto Rico with it, America's Back. Awesome. Thank you also for retweeting the show. Reaction Puerto Rico, Amazing Disgrace. Silver Tier, and Scribe Light, Dog Threble. And then Great Badger Outdoors with the Let's Go. Also Jay Blizza JB with the Let's Go. And Amazing Grace with the Let's Go. All right, there you go. All right, this is a good day. And Sane Poozy, I don't even know who that is. But, Furry Kitten. That's Furry Kitten, I bet. All right, so there you go. All right, let's, some of the trending topics. First of all, it is MLK Day. Oh, wait a minute. What the hell? Where happened to MLK Day? I got Paul Stanley's birthday. I don't want to put that first. It's MLK Day. Martin Luther King Day. People posting about that. Let's see. Well, here's the Grok summary. The convergence of Martin Luther King Day with Donald Trump's inauguration on January 20th, 2025 has sparked significant discussion and reflection on social media platforms like X. Donald Trump's inauguration for his second consecutive term coincides with MLK Day, an event that has last occurred in 1997, prompting conversations about the implications of this rare calendar alignment. Posts from X from various users include public figures and organizations reflect on Dr. King's legacy, with some highlighting the contrast between his ideals and the current political climate, while others focus on community service and ongoing relevance of his message. The NBA and other sports organizations are actively commemorating MLK Day with special programming and tributes, emphasizing Dr. King's impact on civil rights and social justice, which adds to the day's visibility. Look, Luther King was a good man, but he was also a little bit corrupt. Many fairs, whatever. But his his dream changed America for a lot of people for the better, and actually probably for everybody for the better. We learned a lot from him, from some of his speeches and some of the things he did, and I would say absolutely a huge net positive for the country. So there you go. Happy MLK Day. Good morning, by the way, Johnny Hellcat, the original viewer of the Morning Night Live. Tyler F's in the house. Mrs. Hayes and my favorite Canadian Jaeger Pony. Welcome to the show. So some things people are posting. For example, Tim Cook, who's isn't he the Apple guy? Dr. King once said everybody can be great because everybody can serve. True greatness lies in lifting others, making a difference, and serving purpose. Let's honor his legacy by finding ways to serve and create a better world together. Okay, that's a nice message. There you go. And some people are, I'm not going to pay attention to the inauguration because it's Dr. King Day and Donald Trump's not blah, 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 blah. All right, moving on. Birthdays today. Paul Stanley of KISS turned 73 today. Happy birthday, Paul Stanley, the Starman. Member of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Good for him. Also in the news, Benny Johnson, if you're familiar with this guy. This guy steals a lot of his material. He kind of annoys me a little bit, but he's not a bad person, I don't think. Apparently, he and his wife had a baby this morning at 4:27 a.m. Congratulations to Benny Johnson. Why do I have two Paul Stanleys on here? I don't need two Paul Stanleys. Let's just get rid of the second one. Also, we're gonna get into the pardons now, though. Avocados Diabli, thank you for another small bullet in the tip jar. Presidential pardons cover federal cases and charges. So what if some state uses the Dems' precedent of charging any of those people with something like conspiracy to deny people's rights and charge them on the state level for alleged federal crimes? What's good for the goose is good for the gander, motherfuckers. Somebody should do it. The pardons are going to be useless. All right, let's get into those pardons, though. So, breaking, Joe Biden just pardoned Dr. Anthony Fauci and Liz Cheney. Now, why would they need a pardon? Seems awful suspicious to me. Where's the declaration that he made here? And also, I'm concerned. Can you pardon for someone for something they've never been charged with? I don't know how you do that. I never heard. Has anyone ever heard of anyone in the past getting a preemptive pardon? Good morning, Willie. What's up? Willie won't lead a show. So, okay. So let's see. Oh, here's by the way, now pardon Adam Kinzinger said he didn't want one 2 weeks ago. The second you take a pardon, it looks like you're guilty of something. Yeah, you are. You are, absolutely. Here's Glenn Greenwald. Joe Biden using his last day in office to pardon Liz Cheney, among others, is the perfect expression of American political realignment, excuse me, and the rotted soul of the Democratic Party. Yep. I want to find you the actual pardon. By the way, notice Adam Schiff's silence now that he is the lying crony receiving the pardon in the scenario, and the person doing the pardoning is Joe Biden. So this is from a long time ago when Adam Schiff said, the power of the pardon can be used to right a wrong, give people a second chance, or provide leniency when it's deserved. Or if you're Trump, it can be abused to reward a crony who lied to cover up your misconduct. We must prevent future abuse of the pardon power, and we will. Really? How are you going to do that? Maybe you could put your money where your mouth is right now. So here is the, oh shoot, I can't read that. That ain't going to work. There's one up here. Let me find the one that, maybe it's right here. Is it here? Anyway, President Joe Biden has issued preemptive pardons for Dr. Anthony Fauci, General Mark Milley, who committed treason. Not even, it's not even questionable. He committed treason. And several members of the House committee investigating the January 6th Capitol attack. These pardons were granted to protect these individuals from possible legal actions by the incoming administration, with Biden's term concluding today. Rand Paul says, if there's ever any doubt as to who bears responsibility for the COVID pandemic, Biden's pardon of Fauci forever seals the deal. As the chairman of the Senate Homeland Security and Governmental Affairs Committee, excuse me, I will not rest until the entire truth of the cover-up is exposed. Fauci's pardon will only serve as an acceleration to pierce the veil of deception. I hate that word. Ignominious Anthony Fauci will go down in history as the first government scientist to be preemptively pardoned for a crime. It also allows Trump to move forward instead of obsession over the past. Isn't that a gift to America? No. Benny Thompson and Liz Cheney in particular for destroying evidence from a congressional action, that deserves at least something. Censure, well, I don't know, censure's too late because Cheney's gone, but no, that's just bullshit. They would have had to been charged. Let's see. Our nation relies on, this is Joe Biden. Our nation relies on dedicated, selfless public servants every day. They are the lifeblood of our democracy. No, they're not. No. The people are the lifeblood of our democracy. Fuck you, Joe. Yet alarmingly, public servants have been subjected to ongoing threats and intimidation for faithfully discharging their duties. In certain cases, some have been threatened with criminal prosecutions, including General Mark Milley, who committed a serious breach of military protocol by lying to the President of the United States about troop levels in Syria. Dr. Anthony Fauci, do I need to explain that one? And the members of the staff of the Select Committee to investigate the January 6th attack on the United States Capitol. These public servants have served our nation with honor, no, and distinction, and do not deserve to be the targets of unjustified and politically motivated prosecutions. This is what he wrote. This is Biden. General Milley served our nation for more than 40 years, serving multiple command and leadership posts and deploying to some of the most dangerous parts of the world to protect and defend democracy. As chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, he guided our armed forces through collect global security threats and strengthened our existing alliances while forging new ones. Yeah, also he told China, he's also the asshole that told China, you know what, I'm going to talk to you behind the president's back and tell you that I'm not going to do anything that he says. I'm sorry, he committed, he at worst, he should be busted down in rank. For more than half a century, Dr. Fauci served our country. He saved countless lives by managing the government's response to pressing health crises, including HIV. He failed in the AIDS crisis. What are you talking about? Ask anyone in the gay community about Dr. Anthony Fauci. As well as Ebola and Zika viruses, which they were never a big thing here. During his tenure as my chief medical advisor, he helped the country tackle a once-in-a-century pandemic. Yeah, and you know what? Donald Trump did everything Anthony Fauci said, and how'd that work out? Hello, Plague Trucker Zach and Ebony Williams. The United States is safer and healthier because of him. No, it's not. On January 6, 2021, American democracy was tested when a mob of insurrectionists attacked the Capitol in an attempt to overturn a fair and free election by force and violence. Bullshit. They came to protest, and the police started throwing flashbangs in the crowd and pepper spraying and hitting people with batons. And so it turned into a riot. In light of that, of the significance of that day, Congress established the bipartisan select committee to investigate the January 6th attacks. Yes, outside of their own rules. It was not a properly formed committee. And so the fact that they're calling it a bipartisan select committee, bullshit. It was Democrats and two people who wanted to hang Trump, period. That was not a bipartisan committee because the party, one party, was not allowed to choose their own members. The select committee fulfilled this mission with integrity and a commitment to discovering the truth. No, they fulfilled it with a commitment to create a narrative that only saw very little of the complete truth. It basically pinpointed certain things to put everything in its worst light, and lied about what Donald Trump told those people too. Rather than accept, the select committee fulfilled its mission with a technical commitment. Rather than accept accountability, those who perpetrated the January 6th attack have taken every opportunity to undermine and intimidate those who participated in the select committee. What is he talking about? Who perpetrated? Who perpetrated it? Is he claiming Donald Trump perpetrated? Is that what he thinks Donald Trump wanted when they rented space on the Capitol grounds and they ended up the wrong place because the police moved barriers? What is he talking about? Those who perpetrated the January 6th attack have taken every opportunity to undermine and intimidate those who participated in the Select Committee in an attempt to rewrite history, erase the stain of January 6th for partisan gain. You only did it for partisan gain, including threatening criminal prosecutions. Well, if they broke the law, of course, that doesn't matter. You've pardoned your son, too. I believe in the rule of law. No, you don't. You made that clear when you pardoned your son for any and all possible things he might have done criminally over a 10-year period that he weren't even charged for. And I am optimistic that the strength of our legal institutions will ultimately prevail over politics. Well, not this time, obviously, but these are exceptional circumstances, and I cannot in good conscience do nothing. Baseless and politically motivated investigations, pot kettle, wreak havoc on the lives, safety, and financial security of targeted individuals and their families, even when individuals have done nothing wrong and, in fact, done the right thing and will ultimately be exonerated. Well, if they're ultimately be exonerated, then you're wasting your time. Damage, the fact that being investigated or prosecuted can irreparably damage reputations and finances. Wow! Yeah, you must have watched all the Donald Trump trials then. Amazing. Hello, Banks. What's up? That is why am I exercising my authority under the Constitution to pardon General Mark A. Milley, Dr. Anthony Fauci, members of the Congress, and staff who served on the Select Committee and the U.S. Capitol and D.C. Metropolitan Police officers who testified before the Select Committee. The issuance of these pardons should not be mistaken as an acknowledgement that any of the individuals engaged in any wrongdoing. Then you don't have to pardon them. The only reason you pardon them is they did have wrongdoing. And in fact, I'll show you in a minute. Oh my God. Should not be mistaken as an acknowledgement that any individual engaged in any wrongdoing, nor should acceptance be misconstrued as an admission of guilt for any offense. Our nation owes these public servants a debt of gratitude for their tireless commitment to our country. I'm dumbfounded by that letter. What's this? Before you leave office, you should issue one blanket preemptive lie just in case there's any subject you've forgotten to lie about during your career. This is December 2020. Jake Tapper asked President-elect Biden about the rumor that Trump may issue some preemptive pardons before leaving office. Biden, you're not going to see this. Here's Joe Biden on, December 2020, talking about the possibility of pardons.
President Trump is reportedly considering a wave of preemptive pardons. Does this concern you? All these preemptive pardons?
Well, it concerns me in terms of what kind of precedent it sets and how the rest of the world looks at us as a nation of laws and justice. You're not going to see in our administration that kind of approach to pardons. Nor are you going to see in our administration the approach to making policy by tweets. It's just going to be a totally different way in which we approach the justice system.
Really?
President Trump is reportedly considering a wave of preempt.
So there you go. Well, so much for that. Hello, Invader Tack. I will always think of people who get pardons from Biden are guilty of any and all crimes they're accused of. I can't prove you wrong. I'm just saying. So anyway, lots of people are, let's see, what's here? The infamous Catder, thanks for listing the guilty traitors list. No one is above the law except top-tier lawmakers and ultimate rich. Rain Dupree. Brian Krasnitsky, the Daily Krasny. I agree with you about all this, but this will open the door to Trump's associates and family doing anything and everything they can to benefit themselves illegally. Oops, never mind. Trump would have done that anyway. Good move. No. You've opened the door to preemptive pardons. That's just it. And I don't know that if there's any precedent for that in U.S. history. I've never heard of a preemptive pardon. You just pardon them for any and all things for this time period. That's insane. Do these pardons give Trump the opportunity to focus 100% on the future instead of being distracted by the past? This is that same guy, CEO of branding. What is it? Branding expert? Do these pardons give Trump the opportunity to focus 100% on the future instead of being distracted by the past? Only if you don't care if people are above the law. Only if you don't care about the law. Anyway, all right, so great. Nixon's pardon was preemptive. True. That's right. It was, wasn't it? So there you go. But it was also unnecessary because he didn't really break any laws, and I don't know that he would have been charged with anything anyway. But that is a good point, AD. The issuance of pardon should not be taken as an acknowledgement that any individual engaged in any wrongdoing or should acceptance be misconstrued as an admission of guilt for any offense. Yeah, it should. If they're not guilty of anything, what are they being pardoned for? That's a good question. If they're not guilty of anything, what are they being pardoned for? So this is this is just insane to me. I'm sorry. Can't do it. All right, let's move on. Oh, by the way, in the New York Post today, final insult to victims, Biden has also commuted the sentences of killers and sex traffickers. And this is from yesterday. I guess sex trafficking, violent assault, gun possession, and murder all count as nonviolent drug offenses in Joe Biden's America. The crime victims are irrelevant. In his last days, Biden commuted the sentence of 2,500 federal defendants he claimed were convicted of nonviolent drug offenses who are serving disproportionately long sentence. Biden is either lying or his senior advisors are lying to him, which is more likely because Biden doesn't know what he's signing. We've learned that from Mike Johnson recently. Biden reduced the sentence of Laren Graham, 67, a Buffalo man convicted of a 2023 convicted in 2023 of organizing and heading a drug conspiracy to sell fentanyl, crack, cocaine, and heroin. When police raided his home, they found fentanyl, crack, and cash. Excuse me. He also possessed a firearm in his residence. In addition to heading up the drug gang, Graham was also convicted of sex trafficking by force and coercion from 2013 to 2021. Aren't these the crimes that Joe Biden was putting in the crime bill? I mean, then he commutes the sentence. You see this non-violent drug dealer, non-violent. I'm sorry, I don't have the article up. Threatened or beat at least 4 women in order to force them to engage in commercial sex activities. So he's a pimp. He beat one learning disabled woman on a daily basis. He had 12 prior convictions. Biden lowers his sentence from 22 years to 12 and a half. Biden commuted the sentence of Valentino Shine, convicted in 2019 of 5 counts of sex trafficking, narcotic sales, and intent to distribute crack cocaine. He ran a sex trafficking operation out of his Buffalo residence, exploiting at least 9 drug-addicted women and coercing them to engage in commercial sex acts. His motto was baby pay, whatever that means, break a something incorporated. Incorporated. And pimping ain't easy. I get it. That's what those baby pay stands for. 3 of the women who worked for Shine died of drug overdoses as a result of their addiction. He would use beatings and drugs to control the women. Biden lowered the sentence from 30 years to 18 years, 4 months. And it's wild because Biden, that was like, we're like looking at 96 or 94 crime bill shit that Joe Biden wrote. Jaron Ruth, 32, another Buffalo native, pleaded guilty in 2019 to selling drugs in Erie and Cattaraugus counties over a period of 3 years and possessing firearms in furtherance of drug trafficking during that period. Ruth had been charged with shooting a man in the chest during a burglary of the victim's home, but that charge was not part of the plea. Instead, the judge found at the sentencing hearing that Ruth had more likely than not committed the murder and used that crime to enhance his sentence. Biden reduced his sentence from 10 years to 7. I wonder whether President Biden knew what he was doing when he signed off on these commutations. I'm sure he didn't read the 2,500 memos from his staff. I have no idea who on his staff recommended these commutations to him, But this follows a long line of practices for the criminal justice advocates. Yeah, so Biden doesn't know half the shit he signed. And there's let's see, where's the one? Mike Johnson said something about that. Also, there's 37 murderers that Joe Biden let off at death row. And there's a whole list of them here if you want to read the article in the Federalist. But yeah, fucking great. Hello, Rockhopper. What's up? Good day, sir. Welcome from down under. All right, let me check the. People are starting to show up at the inauguration. Let's go to there. We'll go on C-SPAN first.
Then getting ready to roll after the 100 days through your first term.
Should be better.
So today, for instance, is a day of true transition because the new White House staff and the president really
Hello,
do
Ms.
not
Wild
take
Wolf.
power until
Ty Alexander.
12:01 today,
Gefferwolf.
Eastern time. So you're not even allowed in the White House until the president is sworn in. And once you get to the White House is really in a physical transition because the old papers and furniture of the former president, are being moved out, and the new president's furniture and belongings are being moved in, and the staff is getting settled, whether it's in the
I wonder
old
if Biden will
executive
be
office
taking any
building on the
classified documents with him.
White House or the West Wing
I'm sure
of
he
the White
will.
House, and the East Wing in the case of the First Lady.
I want to know where the memos for these pardons are coming from.
For the main offices, it's just for the residents.
All right, so nothing really happening here. I want to see some, like, people talking about stuff, like the pundits who run these things. Let's see. This is the AP feed, which is not doing very well here. Come on. Is this the White House transitioning to a pink one? No, it's transitioning. It's detransitioning. Okay, so the AP is just showing. This was the. Why are they still showing the door from the vice president's residence? I'm not really sure. Let's try CNN and see if any of them are flapping their lips yet. Oh, gee, there is. What the hell is her name? The Congresswoman from Florida. So at least some of the Congress critters are coming in. There's Vivek. Let's see, this is the CNN feed, by the way. There's Marjorie Taylor Greene. I hear AOC is boycotting the inauguration. Oh, well. Hang on, let's see. Okay, so these are people strolling in. It is 10:22 Eastern Time. ABC hasn't much movement. I don't have ABC's feed yet. Here's MSNBC. Let's see what's going on at MSNBC if they're crying yet. Nope, they're just showing the outside of the White House. Oh, wait, this is from earlier. Let me go to the end here. Oh, they must have left the White House. That was when they got into the motorcade. There's Newt Gingrich and his wife. All right, this is all the boring stuff. We'll get into. These are old. It's Fox News. That was from before. And CBS is still showing commercials. All right, we'll come back to that. Sorry, guys, I'm not feeling well. All right, let's get back to some news. We'll come back to that. There's an also question in American Greatness about these pardons. Can preemptive pardons can a cognitively impaired president's pardons be dismissed? I'm more concerned whether or not preemptive pardons can be dismissed. But anyway, By their very nature, convicted criminals receive pardons from previous bad acts. But is Joe Biden about to break new ground using presidential pardons? After all, he pardoned his crackhead criminal son Hunter after proclaiming many times that he would not do so. He told the American electorate to respect the judicial process. As we learned on December 1st, 2024, his word as a Biden was absolute bullshit. Now, the question as he leaves the presidency in disgrace is, who will he pardon preemptively? Well, now we know. Cheney, Bernie Thompson, Merrick Garland, Mark Milley, Nancy Pelosi, Adam Schiff. You know, he didn't pardon Nancy Pelosi because she wasn't on the committee. Interesting. Alejandro Mayorkas. Oh, that was a name missing too. Cassidy Hutchinson. I don't think she's on that list. I mean, she said, he said anyone on the committee, any of the police officers who testified. But Cassidy Hutchinson lied under oath. And she didn't get a pardon. As anyone else who committed perjury, plus others in furtherance of false prosecutions, should be tried and convicted. Politically motivated prosecutors Jack Smith, Fannie Willis. Oh, he didn't pardon Jack Smith either. Fonnie Willis and Letitia James should be disbarred. Corrupt, biased judges must be removed from the bench, like Arthur Engoron and Juan Merchan. After 4 years of Biden's mismanagement of America's domestic and foreign policy and the most massive presidential cover-up in U.S. history, for every member of his cabinet to fail to impose the provisions of the 25th Amendment and remove Biden from office for his obvious cognitive decline and remove this husk of a president from office, the list is almost endless. We think of them as a cabal of clowns. The president has broad pardon powers embedded in the Constitution, and then they go through a list of the likely candidates for pardon and why. Before his presidency, Biden's improper off-site storage of his papers left him legally exposed, according to the special prosecutor Robert Hur. By the way, is there any reason why they can't prosecute Biden now? He didn't preemptively pardon himself. Interesting. Can they go back and get him for the graft that he committed with his son, even though his son can't be charged? Can Biden be charged with that now? While protected by presidential immunity for acts committed during his presidency, the same as Trump, his illegal acts through a series of dubious executive orders that will be repealed by the incoming Trump administration. Other illegal actions through executive orders, like ignoring Supreme Court rulings, push forward his agenda on a wide variety of public policies like student loan forgiveness. The last action was his vote buying scheme, forcing hard-working blue-collar taxpayers to pay for the $100,000 of education of woke graduates possessing useless gender studies degrees that qualified them to flip burgers at an In-N-Out Burger for $20 an hour. It's not only unconstitutional, but punishes non-elite taxpayers for decades to come. Can and will Joe Biden pardon himself? Well, he didn't. We will likely find out today between 11:59 a.m. between now and 11:59 a.m. as dignitaries file into the United States Capitol Rotunda to inaugurate the 47th President of the United States, Donald John Trump. After that, Joe Biden's pardon powers will evaporate forever. I wonder, he's got an hour and a half to pardon himself, Cassidy Hutchinson, who else did he miss? Alejandro Mayorkas, Nancy Pelosi. I don't know what. I don't think Nancy Pelosi did anything illegal, though, for as far as I know. So, I don't know. I'm not going to read the rest of that, but you get the idea. By the way, Gunfox dropped me an article from yesterday. I'm going to do that one now. Hello, Special Can Acid, Das Capital One, and John Arnott. What's up? In this, there's also news, and I don't know. Obviously, this is the Biden administration who made this decision. The United States is expected to deliver first NASAMS air defense system to the armed forces of Taiwan by late 2025. Really? Are we poking the panda? Based on statements from Taiwan's military defense, the local armed forces expect to receive the first NASAMS air defense system by the end of 2025 as part of the acquisition of a total of 3 units purchased from the United States. This addition aims to strengthen Taiwan's short and medium-range air defense capabilities amid nearly daily threatening military actions carried out by China around the island. The National Advanced Surface-to-Air Missile System, NASAMS, developed by the Norwegian company Kongsberg and the U.S.-based Raytheon are part of a purchase request authorized by the U.S. Department of State in October 2024 over a for over $1 billion. I don't know why they put it that way. The package also includes an MPQ-64F1 Sentinel radars associated with the system. Regarding deployment, local authorities revealed that the NASAM systems will initially be installed in Greater Taipei, with one system in the Songshan district and the other in the Tamsui district of New Taipei. Both locations are deemed critical for defending the capital, according to the Ministry of Defense. It was also noted that the new radar systems aim to improve detection rates and will be resistant to electronic interference or jamming. Currently, Taiwan's armed forces operate several missile-based air defense systems, including domestically developed systems like the Skybow 2 and 3, as well as systems provided by the United States over the decades. The most significant of these is the Patriot PAC-3 missile batteries in service with the Taiwan Air Force. Additionally, the MIM-23 Hawk missiles, recently decommissioned, have been replaced with locally developed systems. So that's interesting. I mean, does this put a wedge between us and China, giving them more missiles? Oh, wait a minute. Alexander Vindman's wife posted online she was furious and felt betrayed. Her husband didn't get a pardon. Now, why would that be? That's a good question, too. His role in the impeachment was dubious, too. Hello, Roasted Opinions, by the way. So, yeah, fascinating. I didn't see that. So, anyway, there you go. Thank you, Gunfox, for dropping that article yesterday. Let's see. What else? TikTok's trending. So, if you were paying attention over the weekend, TikTok went down, and then TikTok came back up. Apparently, the company ByteDance did shut down their operations. In fact, here, TikTok is currently facing a potential ban in the U.S., with the app having gone dark for users due to a law signed by President Joe Biden, but service was restored after assurances from President-elect Trump. On January 19th, 2025, TikTok began restoring service for the U.S. users after President-elect Donald Trump provided assurances to its service providers, reversing the app's unavailability from the previous day. The app was unavailable for many of its 170 million U.S. users on January 18th, 2025, due to a ban law that was set to take effect, but Trump's intervention allowed for its return. The Supreme Court upheld the law banning TikTok on January 17th unless ByteDance, its Chinese parent company, sells it to a non-Chinese buyer, leading to uncertainty and discussions on platforms like X. So, yeah, I'm not on TikTok. In fact, the first time I ever downloaded it was the day before it went down. And I don't, I'm not putting anything on there. Hello, Maddie. What's up, Maddie? So anyway, and then most of these are libs of TikTok things. But here's an interesting video because Harry Sisson, if you're not familiar with Harry Sisson, he's one of the Democrat chill people on TikTok and X and wherever else you go. And he was a little upset. He's saying that Trump should not get credit for bringing TikTok back. And so this is an interesting video here.
So TikTok is back in the United States, and obviously I'm happy to see it. I think all the users of the app are happy to see it. But
someone tagged me in this, and I was like, you could see it in his face, right? It eats him up, and it eats many of them up that Trump is getting credit for TikTok.
And not only getting credit, got credit from TikTok. When the app went down, it had a message. You open up TikTok and this message pops up saying that we are closing down because of this law, blah, blah, blah. And we will be working with President Trump to see if we can remedy this. Okay. That was the message when it went down. Then when it popped back up, there was a message that we're back up for now. And they specifically thanked President Trump for TikTok being back up. So the idea that Trump had nothing to do with it, well, that's not what TikTok says.
Unbanned. They hate seeing people like him. They hate seeing people give Trump praise and support Trump. and give credit where it's due. So let's let him continue and let's see what he had to say.
I want to be very clear about something. Both TikTok and Republicans are saying that Donald Trump is the reason that TikTok is back. He kept it alive in the United States. We should be thanking him. No. No.
Well, yes.
Yes. Yes. But let's let him continue.
No. Trump signed an executive order to ban TikTok when he was president on August 6th, 2020.
Yes, and as we found out, that actually didn't have the authority to ban the app. The app was banned because there was a bill that was passed in the House, in the Senate, and then Biden signed it. And yes, it was bipartisan. So saying the app is not back because of Trump is the highest level of cope. It's slightly pathetic. Here's the proof. Actually, it's delusional. But again, here's the proof. On the 17th at 7:20 p.m., TikTok released this statement. The statements issued today by both Biden and the White House and the DOJ have failed to provide the necessary clarity and assurance to the service providers that are integral to maintaining TikTok's availability to over 170 million Americans. Unless the Biden administration immediately provides a definitive statement to satisfy the most critical service providers assuring non-enforcement, unfortunately, TikTok will be forced to go dark on January 19th.
So what happens, Trump on the 19th, even though he's not president yet, said that he will, he's going to give him another 90 days to get this fixed. And I see where AD says it won't be sold in 90 days. It may not. I think they need to only sell like 50% interest in it. And there's several people on the blocks to buy it, or at least they've been talking about it. I heard Mr. Beast has a bunch of billionaires that he's working with. Kevin O'Leary's talked about it. Someone even hinted that maybe Elon Musk would buy it, which would just blow everyone's mind if he did. So there you go. Thank you, Ty Alexander, dropping a 230. Says, what do you say here? Oh, I have Gunfox. I never reset the other one. Says, let the wailing and gnashing of teeth begin. Let the cries of 1,000 commies resound and fill our souls with pride. Let a river of leftist tears feed and nourish the great tree of liberty. I proclaim loudly and proudly that America has won. Ah, yeah. That's, there you go. Thank you, Tyler. All right, let me finish this up.
Remember, that was on the 17th at 7:20 p.m. So then on January 19th at 9 a.m., Donald Trump posted this to Truth Social. I'm asking companies to not let TikTok stay dark. I will issue an executive order on Monday to extend the period of time before the law's prohibitions take effect so that we can make a deal to protect our national security. The order will also confirm that there will be no liability to any company that helped keep TikTok from going dark before my order. Americans deserve to see our exciting inauguration on Monday, as well as other events.
I know what that has to do with it.
So pause to read the rest if you want, but it's not really integral to my point, so I'm just going to skip ahead. So,
long story short, Harry Sisson's full of shit. I mean, it was obviously Trump is the reason that it came back up. Now we'll see what happens. I personally don't care. Don't like TikTok. Don't use it. But I thought it was interesting. Hello, Andrew Thorsten, by the way. I want a new no. I don't know. Let them nod their tongues from the pain. I don't know what that means. All right. So anyway, TikTok is back. In other news, Lindsey Graham has endorsed Kash Patel for the FBI amidst TikTok concerns. What does that mean? Senator Lindsey Graham has expressed his readiness to vote for Kash Patel as the FBI director, citing Patel's role in exposing what Graham refers to as the Russian collusion hoax. Concurrently, Graham that has raised national security concerns about TikTok, describing it as a potential tool for spreading Chinese Communist Party propaganda due to its ownership structure. Look, you motherfuckers, every social media platform has plenty of propaganda, left-wing propaganda, right-wing propaganda, whatever. I don't care. You know what? That's the least of my worries. Although all these people going from TikTok to Red Note are going to direct Communist Party propaganda. So one way or another, they're going to be doing it. These statements were made amidst discussion on Face the Nation. Oh, here though he rips. This is a good clip though, where he rips Margaret Brennan for her bias.
Let me ask you about the Senate, though, because you are on the Judiciary Committee. Kash Patel, the pick to run the FBI, doesn't even have a hearing scheduled yet. In his 2022 memoir, Bill Barr said of Kash Patel, He's someone with no background as an agent, who would never be able to command the respect necessary to run the day-to-day operations of the Bureau. He has virtually no experience that would qualify him to serve at the highest level of the world's preeminent law enforcement agency. The idea of moving him into a role like this showed a shocking detachment from reality. Was Attorney General Barr wrong then and wrong now?
Yeah, he was wrong then, he's wrong now, and I take my advice on Kash Patel from Trey Gowdy, dear friend from South Carolina who worked with Kash. Kash was a public defender, he was a prosecutor, he worked with Trey Gowdy about the Russia hoax, so I do think he has the experience, he has the trust of the president, and we'll see how all this plays out. But Trey Gowdy is enthusiastically supporting Kash Patel, and that means a lot.
Listen to her try to interrupt him.
Okay, but he's got a list he's published, Kash Patel has. He published it in a book of enemies. It includes people like the FBI director, Defense Secretary Austin, Bill Barr, former White House counsel Pat Cipollone, former CIA director Gina Haspel, the head of CENTCOM. I mean, do you take him at his word here that these are an enemies list and you're going to put him in a law enforcement role to go after him?
I believe the hearing will expose him to be a very qualified man of the law. He wrote a book. He'll have to answer questions about what's in the book. But I'm ready to vote for him because I know him too. See, you never asked me about the Russia hoax that he exposed. People on the right believe that he was part of the solution, not the problem. You asked a good question of Brett. Has Israel suffered because of this war? They went too far on the world stage. Here's what's happened on the world stage. The International Criminal Court is going to be sanctioned by the Congress, Republicans and Democrats, because they're trying to prosecute the Prime Minister and Defense
Lindsey Graham, this is a far cry from the question about Kash Patel. You took me all the way to Israel from Kash Patel. Are you you're committing to vote for him no matter what?
Yeah. Well,
you are going to vote for Kash Patel?
I won't say no matter what, but yes, I am ready to vote for Kash Patel because you will never ask me the role he played in exposing the darkest moment of the FBI since J. Edgar Hoover. That's why I trust him.
Okay. Ask him about going after journalists, which he's also said. I'm interested in the answer to that question.
Yeah, I'm sure.
We'll be right back.
Sure Democratic friends will ask him, and you shouldn't worry about Kash Patel.
Okay.
You should worry about reporting the news fairly, which you don't do when it comes to everything Trump.
Lindsey Graham, you're a guest on this program because we wanted to hear you out.
She was not
and we welcome you back, as we often do, anytime, to Legacy Media. We'll be right back.
Okay, well, he said it right to her face. Good for him. All right, let's check back in on the inauguration stuff going on. We'll get back to the other stuff later. This is here's the C-SPAN feed. Let's see what's going on here. We got President Trump and President
Lawman and law enforcement.
Biden.
That's all part of the process as the two gentlemen in the car head to the U.S. Capitol. And this is Andrew, California, Republican line. Hi.
They're on their way.
Yeah, this is Andrew Garcia from California. I would just like to say thank you to President Biden, and I'm hopeful for the next 4 years with President Trump, and I'm proud to be an American. God bless America.
The newly minted senator from California, Adam Schiff, on the left-hand side of your screen, taking his seat. The motorcade's still riding along on the right.
He needs to take
Nathan
3 seats and
next.
shut the
He's
fuck
in
up is what he
Watertown,
needs to
New
do.
York. Democrats line. Hi.
First of all, happy Martin Luther King Day, a day that was enshrined because of the history of progress in this country that I believe is coming to a halt. I want to address a gentleman on the Republican line that said earlier that the founding fathers would be proud, which I don't understand where they get that, because they're fighting a world superpower instead of bowing down and letting billionaires run their administration. I fear the progress of this country, but I hope in the best because of the position. But I guess that's all I have to say. God bless America, and hopefully the next 4 years aren't as scary as everyone thinks they're going to be.
Jacob joined us
scared.
from Ohio, independent line.
Yeah, I just wanted to say, earlier I heard someone say
do one more of these
that
and
they
move
didn't
on.
like that there were priests and religious people. I actually think that's the best part of all this. Catholicism is true. Pope Francis will take over the country. Very based, very epic. I wish I could have voted for Trump, but sadly he wasn't Catholic enough for me. Maybe the candidate next time will be. Although I do appreciate all the Catholic stuff that is present at this inauguration.
That is Jacob joining us from Ohio. Just to show you a headline from the Associated Press from earlier today on this inauguration day, it was Pope Francis making comments about the president-elect, particularly his plans for mass deportation of immigrants, saying that he called it a disgrace as he weighed in on the incoming U.S. president's pledges nearly a decade after calling him, quote, not Christian for wanting to build a wall along the U.S.-Mexican border. Francis made the comments during an appearance at an official telegram, or made an appearance on a podcast, I believe. So that's just a story from the Associated Press. Let's go back to John McCardle.
Pedro, a minute or two before Donald Trump gets up here to
decided to say that, having a wall is whatever he said it was. But the Vatican wall, well, that doesn't mean anything. That's just some stuff that we put there, but that kept people from storming the Vatican. But you build a wall on your southern border. That's not okay. That's not okay. All right, move on to, let's see, nothing going on in AP. Oh, this is, let's see where they're at there. It looks like a lot of them are using some of the same feeds. Here, let's see what this is here.
Where we will see all the people who just loaded up at the White House, then arriving at the Capitol for, in about an hour, we will be seeing that swearing in take place for Donald Trump. Again, there on your screen, you see the U.S. helicopter. It would be Marine One when a president is on board, but otherwise, that is what Joe Biden will be boarding after Donald Trump is inaugurated.
When they say, "Get the fuck out,"
will take then the former president and former first lady off to Joint Base Andrews, where they will begin a trip out to California, purportedly a vacation, an opportunity to kind of reset after their time in the White House has concluded. But for the next hour and change, Joe Biden will still be president, and he will be arriving here at the U.S. Capitol.
I wonder how
with
many
the
pardons
incoming
he'll
president,
give between now
President-elect Donald Trump,
then.
who has been part of this motorcade for the last couple of minutes, coming from the White House. Down there is that shot you see of Pennsylvania Avenue leading up to the U.S. Capitol. Not outside, but in.
So that's the AP feed. Let's go to CNN. All right, so the motorcade pulling up to the Capitol building. He's been on vacation since he took office. Pretty much, they had all the staff doing all the work, writing things up. So this is let's see. This is CNN. I wonder if some of these are decoys, like they have 4 or 5 different beasts. I wonder if Donald Trump tried to grab the wheel too. I want to go to the other side of the Capitol. Lunged it forward, whatnot. That's a lot of vehicles in that motorcade. By the way, there's some leftist groups that had reserved an area around the Capitol. And apparently one of them had, here it is. Let me go to this. Where is it? Here it is. Marxist group with a history of violence to receive a permit for Inauguration Day protest in D.C. Now, if you remember what happened on Inauguration Day in 2017, here, let me give you an example of that, in fact. Let me give you an example of the Inauguration Day 2017. Where is it? Here's a reminder of what that looked like in the city of Washington, D.C.
You all right, boss?
Police had to push back the protesters.
I actually had to chuckle a little bit when yesterday they were saying, oh, look at this peaceful protest around D.C., all these people marching, and there's a peaceful protest. I said, oh, you all motherfuckers forgot all about 2017, didn't you?
Watch out, watch out. Hey, Beasley.
I'd have beat the shit out of these motherfuckers.
Small fires had appeared all day. This upped the temperature, which of course was the point.
One demonstrator threw a flashbang grenade back at police. It exploded in an officer's face.
Plenty of tear gas. 6 officers reportedly injured.
Yeah, I don't remember this being called an insurrection.
They will destroy your limo. You need to leave now. AK-47,
put the cops in piggy heaven.
I just...
Right.
Come on. We got a society. We're here to come together today.
Right in the trash where it belongs.
Yes, sir. Fiery but peaceful, right? So anyway, that's a reminder of what it looked like in 2017. So this Marxist group, apparently, President-elect Donald Trump's decision to hold his swearing-in ceremony and inaugural address inside the U.S. Capitol Rotunda rather than outdoors might have solved some additional challenges. According to Fox News op-ed by journalist Azra Normani, approximately 50 socialist and pro-Palestinian groups are planning to protest in Washington, D.C. on Monday. One group, the Answer Coalition, staged a massive protest in the city last July to protest Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, who was in town to address a joint session of Congress. This event dominated conservative media coverage for days. Thousands of Palestinian supporters and opponents of the ongoing Israeli-Hamas war showed up, and the situation escalated. Demonstrators burned the U.S. flag, raised a Palestinian flag, and torched an effigy of Netanyahu at Columbus Circle. Zaid Mohammed Mahdawi, 26, allegedly spray-painted the words "Hamas is coming" on the central monument and added the red inverted triangle that the terrorist organizers used as a symbol to mark its targets. Some of the protesters assaulted police officers, and by the end of the day, 23 arrests had been made. It was worse than that. The following week, Representative Bruce Westman of Arkansas provided more detail in an op-ed published by The Hill. Anyone who had the misfortune of arriving at our nation's capital via Union Station last Wednesday was greeted with a screaming mob, police barricades, and flags flying high overhead. Not American flags, mind you. Those were in flames on the ground. Rioters ripped down and replaced the American flag with Palestinian flags and were chanting "From the river to the sea" and "Allah Akbar," and ominously graffitied "Hamas is coming" on federal land. Welcome to America. So anyway, yeah, that's one of the groups that has a permit to protest today. America, fuck yeah. All right, let's. I need to take a small break. Let's see what we got here. This is CNN. Looks like there's Pete Hegseth. There's here. Let's use the C-SPAN feed for now.
So I didn't feel like I had much of a choice. Unhappy Martin Luther King Day. I just want to say it's it's a great day for a lot of people, but there's a lot of different comments and a lot of vitriol coming from other lines. And to address a comment about separation of church and state earlier, I want to remind everyone: separation of church and state was put in to protect the church and the people to make them able to freely praise and worship who they choose, to protect them from the government.
Okay, I'll be right back.
That's what that's for. Otherwise, I'm very excited to see to the Department of Government Efficiency. The money spending we have in this country is out of control. It needs to be fixed. And Donald Trump and the people that he's putting in his cabinet are the only people that are capable of doing that. Take a look outside, everybody. You don't have to watch the news every day. You don't have to let them tell you what to think. Go outside and touch some grass. It'll be okay. Make your own decisions. That's important nowadays.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Members of the president's hopeful cabinet, once they get confirmation, making their way into the ceremony as well. Vivek Ramaswamy and others, including Kash Patel, coming in and getting their seats. Kevin Hassett there on the right of your screen to serve in matters of economics for the president, and Tulsi Gabbard as well, hoping to become the next director of national intelligence. Graham in Jersey City, New Jersey, Democrats line.
Hi, I want to wish everyone a happy MLK Day. I hope everyone's staying warm. A bit disappointed how the election turned out. I think it would have been great to see a female president inaugurated today. While I'm disappointed in the American people and their desire to see another 4 years of Trump, I'm a bit more disappointed in the selection committee for not picking Alabama for the college football playoff finals, and instead picking inferior teams like SMU and Indiana. Truly dark times in America.
Okay. Graham there. We've got pictures of more of the president's hopeful cabinet. You heard John McArdle say that Marco Rubio expected a vote on his becoming Secretary of State expected today. Others to follow as well when the president hopefully will get members of his cabinet appointed by the Senate or confirmed by the Senate. Sonia in California, independent line. Hi.
Hi, good morning. I just wanted to remind everyone
all right.
How we spend our time, what we're watching on the television or what we're spending our money on is just as much of a message sender as any screaming can be. If corporations are going to be running us right now, we can choose to buy local, to pay attention to our local artists or our local farmers, buying less from Amazon, paying less attention to Donald Trump on the YouTubes and the views. How we spend our time, period, can send a big message. And I just wanted to remind people that when it feels a little like you don't know what to do, just pay attention to where you're spending your money and spending your time.
Avant.
Okay.
From Baltimore, Maryland.
I don't know what that means.
Republican line.
Hey, how you doing? Thanks for taking my call. I just want to say it's a lot of Democrats that need to put their hands behind their back. And it was a lot during the elections. Sobriety tests should have been done. There's a lot of hands behind their back action. Hey, I support Trump. I support the trucking industry. I am a trucker, and I would like to see the economy just shoot right back up, man. And
did you see Javier
shout out
Milei?
to the inauguration today, and hopefully everything goes well. Everything will go well, and let's get this economy back. Let's get that border built, and let's go. Let's go, America. Let's go.
From
there you go.
viewer
I hear you.
in San Diego, California, Vice President, former Vice President
Mike Pence
there, making his way to the Capitol Rotunda.
Why is he there?
Once serving with the former
No
president.
one invited you.
Do a little bit. Let's see a little bit of this.
I'm confused. He's not a congressman. That's just weird.
Just trying to catch her eye.
Let's move to I'm gonna move over to
It was a
AP.
quick shot of Mike Pence making his way into the Capitol building there. Others making their way
using the same
to.
feed there.
This is
like. Let's go to AP. No one's doing any commentary, mostly just people milling around. I'll tell you what, the chats in these feeds are going bonkers, though. It's kind of crazy. Not a whole lot happening. Pence would be a get.
See
No,
a lot of
he
Elon
shouldn't.
Musk.
Come
Today,
on.
he will be speaking at the parade of sorts inside Capital One Arena.
Wait a minute.
Later today has been almost a constant by the president-elect's side since the last time you and I were in this room.
So there are all the tech giants. There's
in November
Mark
for the election.
Zuckerberg. There's Bezos.
And up until then, he had
there's Elon
stumped
Musk,
so
and this is a dude
for
from
Trump on the campaign trail,
from
particularly in Pennsylvania.
So
which
all the
was
tech
one of those
oligarchs
major
are here.
areas of focus. But yes, was part of the events at Capital One Arena last night with his son X, who actually joined him on stage with Donald Trump. And didn't make his own remarks, but certainly was part of his father's remarks. But now we see Musk there again in the Capitol Rotunda, and will be the incoming
Look at all the
head
chats
of
just
the
jamming,
Department of
though.
Government
It's
Efficiency,
crazy.
not an official government
That's on the
agency,
AP.
but
There's,
intended to cut
how many people
costs
in the
throughout
chat?
the government, something that Donald Trump has asked Elon Musk to be in charge of. So we will see what that agency or what that department accomplishes.
A new agency to cut back on the other agencies.
Oh, you can't. It doesn't tell
With
you how
Vivek
many.
Ramaswamy, who we saw earlier, he's there somewhere. There's nowhere really to hide in the
Okay, now my
retirement.
mouse
No,
stopped
we'll
working.
see him pop back up. Not a lot of space.
Okay, I can't figure out how to get the chat back up, so
It looks
I'm
a lot
gonna
bigger.
refresh that. And there we go. That was.
Parade. There's nothing about balls. There's nothing about how you get to and from the Capitol. It's the date and it's the oath. That's it. Everything else.
Let's try. This is CNN. Bezos' wife looks very plastic. I just gotta be telling you. I gotta be honest with you. So we're about an hour away.
Present arms.
Bill Clinton and the devil are coming in. She looks so happy. She's excited to be there. Oh my God. She would much rather be, I don't know. Okay, here's a question. I'm gonna put. Let's make a list of places Hillary Clinton would rather be. Nope. Wrong answers only. All right, there we go. Places Hillary Clinton. Barack Obama by himself because Michelle is not attending. It's interesting though, I don't know if it has anything to do with the inauguration. She also didn't attend Jimmy Carter's funeral.
Presidential
Don't know
Inaugural
why.
Committee. Committee Co-Chair, Mr. Steve Witkoff.
By the way, apparently the Maryland police, there's an article in the Daily Caller. American police unable to assist with inauguration security due to use of force policy. What? They wanted January 6th. Washington, D.C.'s Metro Police Department cited recent changes in Maryland's use of force policy for why multiple law enforcement agencies were reported as being unable to assist with security for the 2025 presidential inauguration ceremonies. Just days before the inauguration, 7 Maryland-based police departments confirmed to the Daily Caller that they will not be working with the Metropolitan Police Department despite having assisted with security in the nation's capital in previous years. At least one department, the Montgomery County Police Department, revealed that it was due to issues with the memorandum of understanding between the departments. Some of these departments, including those in Anne Arundel County and Prince George's County, as well as Maryland State Police, said they would be assisting the United States Capitol Police instead, due to differences in the interpretation of Maryland's recent legislation on use of force compared to the District of Columbia's use of force policies. Some Maryland agencies are unable to assist MPD directly for the inauguration. However, many of these agencies are contributing to the event security efforts through an agreement with the United States Capitol Police. So, don't know what that means. I'm curious what the policy exactly was that they did not, that they could not assist the Metropolitan Police, but they can assist the Capitol Police.
Please take your seats.
Laura Trump. that would be sit your ass down. They just told you to sit down. Sit the fuck down. They told you to sit down. Marco Rubio. Who else do I see there? Robert Kennedy Jr. Is that Meadows back there? I don't know who that is. There's Pete Hegseth. Pam Bondi. Okay, Elon's taller than I thought he was.
Please be seated.
Vivek back there. I would laugh my ass if he said, all of a sudden he's like, sit the fuck down! Damn it! I told you to sit down! And I sing to myself, what a wonderful world. Q continuum. I see all the Democrats are gathered in one area. Arrest them now, yeah! Or not. Sit Joe asses down. You there in the red tie, sit your ass down. I wonder if this is recorded music or a live band. The Supreme Court justices. Okay. None of them look all that happy. Of course, they got to walk like they're third graders going in line to get water. Let's see if they're getting any commentary from the other business jet. MSNBC would probably be the most entertaining, right? Obviously, they're using all the same live feed too. It looks like it. There's Marge. There's the Fox News. Do they have their own cameras? Okay, that one's not working. Yeah, it looks like they're all using the same feed. So we will, let's just go stick with C-SPAN then.
That's at the Capitol as the events are set to start in just a little while from now. But that's where the rally takes place, the post-rally, the parade of sorts takes place as well. After the president-elect takes the oath of office, becoming president, and heading there to meet his supporters. Again, here come members of the Supreme Court.
They got me? Bullshit.
As members of the Supreme Court walk in, later on you're going to see the Chief Justice, John Roberts, issue the oath of office for the president-elect for him to take. And then after that, the Vice President taking his oath, being sworn in by Justice Kavanaugh. Vice President sworn in by Justice Kavanaugh.
Okay. All right, I'm back. Yeah, there should be no copyright issues on C-SPAN, especially. So I'll stick with C-SPAN. Apparently, the other ones are being a pain in the ass. Okay, there we go. Could you even hear me during that or no? I was talking, trying to figure out what the hell was going on. Oh, I don't want EP. I want there we go. C-SPAN. Hi, Chicago Mike. What's up? All right, we'll see what happens. Oh, I was totally silent during that? Oh, fan-fucking-tastic. Okay, well, we're back. Let's go full screen here. It's kind of sad that they have these little stunky plastic chairs in there. And why is Zuckerberg on the dais? I don't understand that. This Trump family. Wait, who are the people leading them out there, though? I have no idea who those two are.
The Trump family entering now.
Oh, this is Trump's
Notice in
family.
the back, Barron Trump, Eric Trump, and others making their way into the U.S. Capitol.
Just got back from Florida. Hey, how cold is it in Chicago right now, Mike? We're at 12 below. Wait, did it do it again? There's a live feed from C-SPAN. What are you doing? Good God. Okay, they're fucking with me, man. You're fucking with me. Okay. All right, let me find, let me try a different. Let's try this again. Yeah, I'm not streaming on Rumble either. Okay, what a pain in the ass. And they're still fucking with me. Okay, I'm back apparently. Let's see. Let's see if I can find a channel that I can watch this on. I'm obviously not doing nothing on CNN anymore. Shit. Let's see. Let's try. Let's see what Cannon's watching.
Congress did that. Trump didn't do that. Nicholas Slick and the gang did that.
This is crazy, man. This is crazy. Let me see if I can RSBN and no sound. I could try that because they don't care. God damn, it just fucking pisses me off though. Let's see. All right, let's see what happens here. We'll try this one. Let's see how long this takes. I'm going to do it, but I'm going to make it smaller too.
Ladies and gentlemen, the 44th President of the United States, the Honorable Barack H. Obama.
He said honorable wrong. We'll see what's happening. Who, RSBN? No, this is RSBN on YouTube. So let me know immediately if they do this again. Oh boy. Who's next?
Ladies and gentlemen, the Chief Justice of the United States, the Honorable John G. Roberts, Jr., and the Associate Justices of the Supreme Court of the United States.
Yes. Which Supreme Court justice will be gone after this 4 years? That's the question.